Safaricom, the biggest telco in the region, has expanded its mobile money products with integration to Ant Financial. Under the terms of this deal, M-pesa's 21 million users are now able to pay for goods that they buy on AliExpress, the one owned, of course, by Alibaba, the Chinese e-commerce giant, in Kenyan shillings through the mobile money platform. Now, mobile money accounted for roughly 30% of the firm's revenue in the half-year results in November last year. In that period, merchant payments are up by almost 50% year on year. E-commerce within Kenya and outside the country's borders has been a key focus for the company.
AliExpress will also present its pricing in Kenya shillings, as I said earlier, which is a great benefit. So our customers don't have to go through the hassle of trying to do the conversion of whether it's USD or whatever currencies on the platform into Kenya shillings. So the price that will be presented to you in Kenya shillings, saving shoppers the pain of complex calculations and currency conversions. Customers shopping on the site will continue to receive their merchandise through their postal addresses, as has been the case.
Safaricom's Chief Customer Officer there. Now, getting to this point, did involve a lot of technical work to make Safaricom's and Ant Financial's back-end systems essentially talk to each other, if you will. Earlier on, I spoke to Boniface Mugania. He's the head of the department for M-pesa products and services. I asked him how they solve the technical gremlins and the regulatory ones.
You look at the current money transfer, international money transfer setup. In most cases, there are three parties involved, which is the originating, the transfer organization, the receiving party. Yeah. But in such a case, and what you're moving now is from remittance to payments. This is actually really now deep into payments. The partnership we have is bilateral, is us and Ant Financial, working on a product co-innovated to allow M-pesa as a payment option.
Who initiated it? Was it Ant Financial or you guys?
These are discussions, because you see, these are two organizations coming together. We have customers who are shopping in Kenya. We have customers who are shopping from your platform. It's a natural conversation to happen. And whenever the opportunity presented itself, then we're able to come up with something.
Right.
But see, what we've done for M-pesa, we introduced Daraja last year, but one. Daraja is our API platform. And what we did is we've opened, initially M-pesa, integrating M-pesa was very hard. We've built a couple of APIs that are enabling either you receive notifications about the payments just to enable you to fulfill. And on the customer side, allow a very secure way of authentication a transaction. And these are the two APIs that you can say have played a role in such an integration.
Just to be clear, it's cash moving from Safaricom's accounts, for lack of a better word, into Ant Financial. There's no man in the middle in between, no banks, no payment processors.
No party in between. It is directly integrated to AliExpress.
Right.
So it's as simple as money is moving from M-pesa wallet, and then we have internal, between us and the partner, a settlement process. And basically to the customer, it's as simple as buying goods and services using our normal pay bill service.
So how do you handle the clearing side of it? Because I'm paying in Kenyan shillings, and Financial's booking the revenue in yuan or RMB. So, and of course, there's also the question of currency convertibility, because the RMB convertibility issue has always been there, right? So a lot of our trade, a lot of our debt, even with China, as you know, from a sovereign to sovereign perspective, is often priced in USD, not in yuan. So how do you deal with that problem?
One of the things that AliExpress have done, and this is, I really like the flexibility, is to handle the conversion so that what you present to the Kenyan customers is Kenya shillings. Initially, without Kenya shillings, then you have to do the conversion, then you go back to M-pesa and make a payment. It would have beat the purpose of the convenience you're looking for. So they do full conversion. And
so they handle the currency risk. That's on their books.
Yeah, of course that is factored. And then they expose, or the billing will be in Kenya shillings. And then this is what you understand when you're making payments via M-pesa. So it's natural that the payment option is M-pesa, but the billing is in Kenya shillings. Right. And we've been able to achieve that quite smoothly. They've done a very good job in doing the currency conversion.
The thing about this sort of deals is, yes, there's a lot of trade with China. For a lot of economies in this side of the world, it's the biggest source of our imports. In Kenya, I think it's second after India, but that's mostly because we import a lot of refined fuel from India. But what about the trade within East Africa? Because the common argument is, we can set up all these easy payment systems with the Europeans, Americans, the Chinese, but in our own backyard, just moving money from Kenya to Uganda, Kenya to TZ, Kenya to Rwanda can be a nightmare. I mean, that represents a huge opportunity for you, doesn't it?
Very huge. And look at what we did last year. Towards the end of last year, I think it's in November, we launched Global. So global is not a product, it's more of the approach that we are going to take when you're dealing with international payments. So locally, what's the easiest way? If you go to Tanzania today, which is a common or which is the biggest electronic payment provider, or which is the most commonly used after cash? You find this probably is Vodacom, mobile money, it's Tigo, Cash, Uganda is MTN.
Yeah.
And what we've tried to do, and I must be very honest, the usage is not the level where Kenya is today. There's still a bit of growth to catch up with what we have. So who are the right partners in Uganda that we can tie up with? Who are the right partners in Tanzania that we can tie up with and facilitate transactions? So for Tanzania is live and doing quite well.
Quick chat on e-commerce opportunities across East Africa there with Safaricom's Boniface Mugania.